Hey everybody, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Kaylee. I'm an online reseller. I pick up used clothing at thrift stores and I flip them online for profit on sites like eBay and Poshmark. Every week I come on and do a what sold last week video. I show you some things that sold for me that you might be able to find in your local area and make some money on. If you want to be notified when those videos go live, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell down below. Let's jump into the video.
Alright, so last week's sales were a Sunday through Saturday. That would be August 2nd through August 8th. I sold a total of 41 items on 3 different platforms. That was eBay, Poshmark, and then down here is my one Mercari sale. In total, I sold $1,324.55 for an average sale price of $32.31 and a total cost of goods of $195.96. On eBay, I sold 27 items for a gross sales total of $868.55, average sale price $32.17. Total cost of goods on eBay was $99.50. On Poshmark, I sold 13 items for a gross sales total of $431, average sale price $33.15, and then my total cost of goods was $91.47. On Mercari, I sold just one item for $25, total cost of goods $4.99. Looking back on last week, I'm glad my sales are going up. I'm listing a lot more and way more steadily, so I think that is why my sales have started increasing. I'm also really happy with my average sale price. It's going back up to where I was used to it being before the summer hit. So I'm used to being in the 30s, but over the last few months in the summertime, I have dropped down to in the 20s. So I'm glad to be raising my average sale price. I'm focusing on getting some higher priced items, but of course, as always, I'm picking up lower dollar items as long as I know they're going to flip quickly. Poshmark and eBay were not neck and neck this week, but I still had a decent amount. 13 out of the 41 were Poshmark, and I'm so glad, you guys, that I have been using List Perfectly to cross-post, cross-list, whatever you want to call it, on different platforms during this time, because that's the one thing you can do without having to go get more inventory and still make more sales is cross-list onto other platforms. So if you're not already using List Perfectly, it's totally worth the money, and as you can see, making sales on other platforms has become a main source of my income. Alright, so I have quite a few sales to show you, and I'm going to try to run through these pretty quickly while still giving you some details as to why I picked them up or if there's anything interesting about the brand. Some of my biggest flips have been by this brand. The brand is Kuji, Coogi, and I look for just basically anything really unique or interesting from this brand. Generally, things are going to be in multicolor. I've sold some knit dresses and also some sweaters in this brand, and that would be the main thing that I'd ask you to look for out of this brand because those can go for hundreds of dollars. But nonetheless, I still look at every piece of Kuji that I find because if it's unique enough, it might sell for some decent money. These ones, I was not really sure what to list them for. They were really interesting, had some of that embroidery beachy detail, but as you can see, they had some washwear, and because of that, I wasn't sure where to price it. I listed this at $75. I priced it that way because that's where similar sweatpants in this brand have sold for, the more unique ones, and then I just accepted best offers. Someone sent me an offer for $55, which I happily accepted. So if you come across this brand, make sure you do your comps. You might not find exactly the item that you have in hand, but I would say just do comps on similar items in this brand. Next is this top by a brand I just learned about. It's called Cleo Bella, and I mainly liked looking at this top because it had that fringe detail and it was cold shoulder, and the fringe went all the way around the shoulder, which I thought was interesting. I thought this would be a great festival piece, and I thought it also had some Western vibes to it. So because I knew I could put all that information in, I knew that it would sell pretty quickly. This one I had listed for $34.99, and it did sell at full price and relatively quickly. So if you're not familiar with this brand, I'd say get familiar with it because the comps that I saw, it was doing pretty well and everything sold for a decent amount. Next are these Lucky brand, which is just a bread and butter brand for me in men's jeans. These are the 363 vintage straights. I was able to find the style name on the inside of the jeans, as I do with most of men's jeans. If you're not selling men's jeans, you're really missing out. They are super quick flips and they're really easy to identify and look up. I priced these at $24.99 and they sold really quickly at full price. Next is a new belt brand that I just learned about. The brand is called Silpata, and from what I can see, this particular brand of belts does very well. They all have very large geometric buckles. I noticed that about the brand, so something to look out for. Really nice, soft, supple leather, but regardless of brand, I always look at belts and pick them up based on style. So regardless of this brand, I probably still would have picked it up because it had a unique color scheme and it had that interesting large geometric buckle. I priced this one at $29.99 and it did sell at full price. Another belt that I just sold, this one was unbranded, and this one I picked up because of its medallion details, very Western Bohemian style right now, and for that reason I picked it up. It was all leather, had a tiny bit of wear on them, but I thought it was unique enough, and as you can see, my cover photo was a close-up so people could see that medallion detail. I had this listed for $29.99 as well, and it did sell at full price. I'm always amazed when belts sell for more than some of my jeans and tops. And for that reason, I always visit the belt section now and pick up trending styles. This next one is a wide leg jumpsuit from Urban Outfitters. I was able to find the style name of this wide leg jumpsuit by Google search, and it was called the Slouchy Tootsie wide leg jumpsuit. This one's pretty popular. I really like the style of it, really easy, had pockets, which is always great for us women. Had this one listed at $34.99. I did include free shipping on this one and it sold at full price. This is a dress by BCBG Max Azria. I don't normally pick up this brand, but recently I've been having some luck with what I would consider psychedelic prints and colors, and I've just been kind of doing some experiments on patterns and colors that look like they're from the 70s. So for that reason, I picked this one up. It was also new with tags, so it was really easy to list. You can see the retail price is pretty high, but for this brand, that isn't always a good thing. It doesn't always sell quickly or for a lot of money. But like I said, I picked it up for the color scheme and the print because it looked very 70s, and that seems to be coming back in style. I usually put the word psychedelic in because that's been selling well for me, but I did a little experiment and put the word trippy in to see what kind of attention it got, and that keyword did really well for me. So I had this listed at $35. I sent out offers to watchers. It sold really quickly on an offer that I sent out for $31.50. Alright, I was so happy with this find when I picked it up at the thrift store. This is my first time ever finding this brand. The brand is called Jam's World, and this tag was really easy to miss. It's kind of underwhelming, but I'd heard about this brand before in other people's videos, so I knew that it was worth picking up. If you do comps on these Hawaiian dresses, they're kind of all over the place. Some of them sell for ridiculous amounts of money. Based on the print I had and the length, I listed mine for $39.99, and it did end up selling at full price relatively quickly. These are a pair of Athleta linen jogger pants. This is kind of a poor picture, which is probably why it didn't sell right away. These were just really hard to photograph, but anything in Athleta that is out of the norm for them, if they're not, a basic legging, which I do like picking up Athleta basic leggings. What I'm trying to say is if it's something out of the norm for them and it's more of like a casual wear piece, like I feel these linen joggers are, have really good luck with that. So these were a pinstripe linen jogger, also a great size in a size 12. I had this listed at $29.99 and I sent out offers to watchers for $26.99 and someone accepted. Next is a pair of boots by LL Bean. LL Bean is one of my bread and butter brands, and I really like picking up anything that is safari themed or that I could classify safari themed. LL Bean, Banana Republic, they all make really interesting pieces. I also thought these had a Western vibe to them, and they were made out of suede. Vintage, unique LL Bean pieces do really well for me. They've always done well for me, so for that reason, when I come across something like this, I tend to look it up and pick it up. I had these ones listed at $45, and I sent out offers to watchers for $35, and someone accepted. Another bread and butter brand for me is Lauren Ralph Lauren. Some of my best flips have been by this brand, and I think a lot of people pass it up. Don't pass up this brand. A lot of unique pieces, anything Western, something made out of good material. This one was made out of linen and silk. Anything unique or interesting in this brand, make sure to always do your comps, but I just have such great luck with this brand. So this was just a sweater vest. I call it a cardigan vest. I had this one listed for $28, and it sold on a best offer that I sent out for $25.20. This is a new athletic brand to me. This is called The Upside. I actually did some online arbitrage and picked this as well as a bunch of other leggings in this brand up from another seller on eBay, and I flipped them on eBay for a profit. So these ones I had listed at $35 with free shipping, and they sold really quickly. From what I can see about this brand, they're really popular. They're more of a higher end athletic brand. I'm surprised I hadn't heard of them before. From what I can see, they're doing much better on Poshmark, so I've got everything cross-listed onto there. But keep an eye out for that brand. Make sure to do your comps, but it seems to be doing well. These, I think, sold quicker than the other leggings because they were a floral print. This is a top by Joie, which is a brand I'm very careful about what I pick up, but this bohemian top was made out of silk, and I really like the pattern detail and the color scheme of this. Because it was silk was the main reason that I picked it up. I had it listed for $24.99. It sold within days on a best offer that I sent to watchers for $22.49. I wanted to show this pair of jeans because this isn't typically something I pick up, but lately I've come across these for relatively cheap, and they sell really quickly for me. So I am going to keep an eye out on this brand from now on and pick them up when I see them, and I might even pay up to $5 for them now. So the brand is Rock 47, and it is by Wrangler. And the reason this brand always catches my eye is because of the contrast stitching. I've talked about it in other videos, but I always look at the side of jeans when I'm going down the men's section. That way I don't have to look at every single pair of men's jeans, and I basically only look at the ones in general. If I don't have time, I look at the ones with this contrast stitching because those are going to be your brands like Buckle or Rock Revival. They have this kind of stitching. So that's how I came across this brand and started experimenting with it. Since then, I can tell you they have all sold for me, and they've all sold quickly, and they don't sell for a lot. This one I had listed at $24.99. I sent out offers to watchers for $22.49, but again, quick flip, sold really quickly. So if you come across this pretty inexpensively with this thick stitching detail, I do think that it is worth picking up. All right, moving on over to Poshmark. I sold these pair of Levi's high-waisted vintage patch jeans. I'm going to tell you a little bit about these in a moment, but I wanted to say that I used to pick up almost every pair of Levi's I came across when I first started reselling, and Levi's are still one of the best denim selling brands, even for reselling, even pre-owned. But now I'm very, very careful about what I pick up in Levi's. Generally, I'm looking for something super vintage or really unique, or I'm looking for the style of Levi's that everyone's looking for this year. For women this year, I feel like those are the wedgie jeans, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But basically high-waisted mom jeans that come really high up the rib cage and then taper towards the leg are mainly what I'm looking for in Levi's women's jeans. So I came across these at the thrift store and immediately drew my attention to them because someone has DIY'd putting patches on them, which I thought was really cute and really trendy. These were that high-waisted like rib cage design, It even had the back patch taken out. As you can see, total DIY, but super interesting. I almost didn't pick these up at the thrift store, and here's why. Because on the inside of the thigh area and the crotch area, you could tell these had been worn completely out, and somebody stitched them back together. They did a pretty decent job, I'm not gonna lie, but you could tell that there was significant wear, and I thought that might be a major deterrent. These also did not have the size listed on the tag inside, which also is always kind of something that scares me away from picking up an item, especially in pants, because people are so finicky about pant size. So I had a lot of hesitation with these, but I ended up taking a chance on them. They were only $4.99. I figured it would be worth it because I do know that like Levi's DIY unique things can sell for a lot. Couldn't find, obviously couldn't find this exact one, but I found similar ones selling for around $75, $65 in that range online, but they were in better condition than this. So I took a chance. I listed them at $75 and was accepting offers. I had a lot of interest on all platforms, and someone sent me an offer for $58, and I went ahead and accepted. I know that was a long explanation, but my point of that is if you come across something that's been DIY'd in Levi's and it's really unique or interesting, whether it is jeans or a jacket, it might be worth taking a chance on because everything that I saw online was going for a lot of money. Here are another pair of Levi's. These ones were not DIY. These ones were the high-waisted wedgie jeans. That's actually the style name on the inside. I'll show you right here. These are really popular. I've sold quite a few of these. These ones were pre-owned. Pre-owned, I think they're going between $40 and $50, so that's what I listed mine for. I think I had them at $50 and someone sent me an offer for $40, which I happily accepted. If you come across that wedgie jean style, definitely worth picking up. Next is a hoodie by the brand Champion, and I don't know what it is, but I've sold a lot. I know that Champion's back in style, really popular right now, but obviously I don't pick up everything Champion because the market's flooded and it doesn't sell for a lot. But what I will say is every time I pick up a Champion hoodie with a college logo on it or spell on it, they always flip really quickly for me, and they usually sell about the $30 to $35 range, and every single hoodie that I've picked up had some decent wear on it, but they still sell very quickly, and like I said, between the $30 and $35 range usually. I always make sure to find some kind of logo. So as you can see on here, it's got the Champion logo on the sleeve. I had a couple areas of staining, and then the inside was a little bit pilly. I made sure to disclose that and point out the staining. But I always pick up Champion hoodies when they've got the college on them, regardless of what the college is. These ones I had listed at $35 and someone sent me an offer for $27, which I went ahead and accepted, and this sold within days. This is a skirt by the brand Title IX. This used to be a brand I used to skip on because I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the logo, but it reminded me of another brand. I don't remember if it's like Target or Cato, but there's a brand that has a logo very similar to this, and I guess my brain just associated with it not being a higher end brand. It was doing comps at a thrift store on this brand and realized that I'd been missing out. So Title IX is an excellent brand to pick up, and everything that I've picked up in this brand has sold quickly and for good money. I'm starting to come across it more and more. This is just basically like a tennis skirt meaning it's got shorts underneath. I had this listed at $35 and it did sell at full price. Definitely worth picking up if it's in decent condition. I've picked up dresses, I've picked up skirts. I think I might have even picked up tops, but definitely worth picking up this brand. Another bread and butter for me, these are the BKE men's jeans in the style Carter. Again, that style name is on the inside of the jean, and I always do comps on that specific style to make sure that it is indeed going to sell. As I mentioned before, I find these by looking for that contrast stitching. That's a really good indicator of a decent modern brand to pick up. But like I said before, always do your comps while you're at the thrift store before you pick it up. BKE jeans usually sell between 30 and 40 for me. I had these ones listed, I think at 40, and I accepted an offer of 35. These are a pair of Madewell linen cotton shorts. I picked these up from Madewell themselves when they were having a sale. I did an order online, so I got a bunch of new Tags items from Madewell for relatively cheap, and since then have been selling through them. I like doing that because I can get multiples of items and do one listing. It's worth it to pay up if I am able to make a multi-quantity listing. These ones I think I had listed at 40 and I accepted an offer for 32, and I think this is the last of this short that I had. As you can see, there was a lot of interest, but even if you come across these pre-owned, I still think they'd be a quick flip. They're very in, and Madewell in general is a pretty decent brand to pick up. This is something I've been sitting on for a little while. This is a Zara Disney collaboration, and it has the character Pluto on it. This was new at Tags. It took a while to sell. We're starting to get into the colder weather, so it had a chance to sell again. This one ended up selling for $33, which is an offer I accepted. I think much lower than what I had it listed for. I think I had it listed at $45, and I accepted that because, like I said, I've been sitting on it for a little while. Here is another Ralph Lauren piece. I mentioned before, this is one of my bread and butter brands. I picked this one up because it is a tiered skirt, which does pretty well for me. This also had that peasant look and an oriental print. Whenever you see something with broken up mixed prints, that is really trendy right now, so I always at least look it up while I'm at the thrift store, but broken up mixed prints have been doing really well for me. What I mean by broken up is like a color blocking of mixed prints. So this one I had listed at $29 and it actually sold at full price. This is a dress by the brand Cachet. Not normally a brand I pick up, but something about this, because of the loud detail and the fact that it was a wrap dress, made me want to look it up. I figured it would do pretty well. So I looked up sell-through rate on this and it was pretty decent. I looked up specifically Cachet, I think animal print faux wrap dress. I think that is specifically what I looked up before I picked it up, and these seem to be doing pretty well. I listed mine at $35 and it did sell at full price, and this sold within days of me listing. This sale might look familiar because I've actually sold this on, I think it was eBay, and then it got returned to me, or maybe I sold it on Poshmark and it got returned to me. Regardless, I sold this once and it got returned. I truly thought that this was a leather bag, real leather bag, but when the buyer got it, they said that it was faux leather, and so I allowed a return for it. I went ahead and relisted, and I just put faux leather, and then I dropped the price by $10, and it sold really, really quickly. So if you do get a return, don't be discouraged. You can always relist, edit your listing, drop the price on it, or don't drop the price at all and see how it does. This one sold much more quickly, surprisingly, when I put faux leather in the title and dropped the price by $10. And this one ended up selling for $35. If you come across anything that is hobo looking, hobo is just a keyword that's really trendy right now. So if you come across anything like that, look up the style, but I think that it's worth picking up even if it is faux leather, which is the reason I picked this one up. And lastly, I had this one sale on Mercari. This is just a pair of Big Star Voyager jeans. Big Star is a brand sold at Buckle. And the reason I let these go for $25, I think I had them listed at $35. I let them go for $25 because I've actually been sitting on this pair for a while. Maybe it's my dark lip pictures, but that is the reason I let these go. But I think in general, Big Star jeans are kind of like BKE jeans, where they sell between the $30 and $40 range. Like I said, I went ahead and accepted $25 because I've been sitting on these for some time.
Alright guys, so that is it for what sold last week. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like what sold videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.